right? I'm broke now. I'm retired from fighting. I have no money. I'm running out of money. So I put them all around the same table, and I was like, look, we're gonna start a webcam business. You're gonna stay, you're gonna live in London. I'm gonna look after you, and we're gonna get rich. We're gonna be a team. And they're all like, well, who's this bitch? I'm like, she's my girlfriend, she's my girlfriend, she's my girl. You're all my chicks. And you're gonna stay here, and we're gonna make some money. Big fight kicks off, blah, 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 blah. In the end, long story short, 3 left, 2 stayed. Those are my first 2 girls. And we started this little webcam business from my apartment. And it just grew and grew and grew. And it got to the point where at one point I had 75 women working for me in 4 locations.
Damn.
And I was doing $600,000 a month from webcam. So
this is in the UK.
This is in the UK. This is in the UK. So, but this leads into the story of why I moved to Romania. So at the height of my webcam pimping, I think I'm the king of the world, right? I have all these women, da-da-da.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're exploring whether Andrew Tate is just chasing clout or just a modern-day version of Iceberg Slim. Both promote that shady, misogynistic hustler mentality, but does Tate truly measure up to Slim's OG pimp game? Or is he just fronting for attention? Let's break this all the way down. First up, for those who may not know, here's the rundown on this Andrew Tate character who's been blowing up lately. Dude is like if Tony Robbins, Dan Bilzerian, and a pickup artist somehow had a money-obsessed hype beast baby. Former kickboxer turned loudmouth internet shock jock personality. The self-proclaimed top G is out here peddling his regressive, backwards worldviews to an impressionable audience of young dudes just trying to figure out life, money, dating, and their place in the world. And when I say worldviews, I really mean straight-up misogyny. He's pushing modern-day snake oil in a hype beast suit. Tate constantly stays flexing his supercars, private jets, and designer gear as proof that he's obtained this elite level of alpha masculinity. And he preaches that without tangible displays of money and control over women, you're just destined to be a broke beta male loser who gets crushed up and spit out by the system and social hierarchies. His tips range from laughably corny all the way to extremely disturbing. Like, who even gave this fool a platform? Now for some background context on Slim. Say what you want about his legacy, but Slim was really about that pimp life back in the early 20th century. As a legitimate pimp operating in the streets, he got true first-hand experience seeing the dark, hidden underbelly and psychology of hustling culture. His gritty memoirs and books expose the mentalities and behaviors behind pimping, for better or for worse. Although Slim's vividly written OG stories definitely glorified and glamorized the pimping lifestyle more than they outright condemned it. His detailed testimonials laid the blueprint and foundation for generations of hip-hop stars, hustlers, and wannabe players who became enamored with chasing that anti-hero, outlaw status, and mentality. Now that we got the basic backstory and context out the way, let's dive deeper into analyzing the truly creepy and alarming similarities between Andrew Tate and Iceberg Slim. First and foremost, they both share this dark obsession over money and power, being the determining factors of a man's masculine self-worth. Tate is constantly broadcasting and flexing his exotic cars, mansions, and other status symbols as proof that he's obtained this elite level of alpha masculinity. Meanwhile, Slim plotted and schemed his whole pimping come-up in cutthroat capitalist terms as a means to chase paper by any means necessary. Their deeply flawed views on women are also strikingly similar and downright disturbing when you dig into it. Slim literally trained upstart pimps in how to target vulnerable women and systematically break them down mentally to become zombies, entirely devoted to obediently satisfying his every need and demand. Tate similarly preaches in his videos that real men need to establish complete dominance and control over their wives and girlfriends, without allowing women to gain too much confidence or independence where they might question his authority. They both also view themselves as messianic prophet-like figures who are passing down forbidden insider knowledge and wisdom to help other men gain the same level of money, status, power, and perceived alpha dominance that they achieved. Tate sells this illusion through his shady Hustlers University program, which promises to teach guys the secrets to become rich tycoons sleeping with models. While Slim's autobiographical memoirs offered similarly explicit how-to-pimp game advice and stories for readers who wanted to emulate his pathological manipulation tactics and supposed success with women. Let's pull out and analyze some very direct, alarming quotes from both of these deeply flawed men. Iceberg Slim.
I had tasted the magic power of controlling the lives of others.
Andrew Tate.
Success is masculine power. The more power you have, the more successful you are.
Andrew Tate.
Women belong in the home. They belong raising children, They belong keeping a house clean.
Iceberg Slim.
Every whore works and hustles for her man. She knows better than to siphon his scratch for frivolities. He controls her life, what clothes she can wear when she can go out.
When you examine their shared oppressive language, it clearly exposes how both Tate and Slim see their psychological manipulation and control over women as a positive mentoring thing. By portraying themselves as success gurus, they lure insecure young men who desperately crave money, purpose, perceived dominance, and validation, even if it comes through toxic means. However, despite these many dark similarities when you scratch beneath the surface, there are still some notable key differences between Iceberg Slim and Andrew Tate that are worth addressing. Unlike Slim, Tate has absolutely zero real credentials or qualifications to back up any of his tough guy internet persona or boasts about being an elite masculine alpha male tycoon. At the end of the day, he's just an outrage-fueled internet shock jock and troll who's playing an exaggerated character and cashing in on negative attention. Whereas Slim earned his provocative status through actual lived street experiences of over 20 years, along with the talent he demonstrated in his layered writing. While Iceberg Slim showcased at least some nuance and complexity in the gritty street portraits he crafted analyzing the obscure pimping and hustling subculture, Tate simply regurgitates the same played-out misogynistic ideological drivel and talking points ad nauseum without any new insights or perspectives to add. His content rarely digs below the surface level, or displays any degree of intellectual rigor or critical thinking. The dude's perspectives have the depth of a kiddie pool. The hard truth is that Tate is essentially a PG-13 rated wannabe impersonator of Slim at best, but targeted towards a generation of lost young males searching for meaning in the digital clout-chasing social media era. This guy shamelessly co-ops and name-drops Iceberg Slim's iconic legacy at every turn, but lacks even a fraction of his credibility, magnetism, or complexity as an author and public figure. At the end of the day, despite their differing intentions and backgrounds, unfortunately, both Iceberg Slim and Andrew Tate have promoted and normalized extremely toxic, dangerous philosophies around obtaining power, money, and emotionally manipulating, objectifying women. Their cults of personality and influence continue spreading regressive beliefs, especially among impressionable, insecure young men who get drawn in by superficial charisma and search for role models in all the wrong places. However, I have faith that today's generation has the media literacy, critical thinking, and awareness to see through these fraudulent gurus selling superficial snake oil machismo masked as profound enlightenment. We must continue progressing socially past the regressive mentalities that men like Tate or Slim push so lucratively for their own gain, no matter how temptingly edgy their aesthetic or messaging might seem on the surface to some. There's nothing remotely cool or alpha about proudly putting others down in order to prop yourself up. I'm very curious to hear all of your thoughts on this complex topic in the comments below. Do you believe Andrew Tate is the real deal, modern-day equivalent of Iceberg Slim? Or just chasing clout? Should demonstrably misogynistic public personalities even be given platforms to spread their damaging ideologies so carelessly? Is censorship really the solution here? Or is it an ethically slippery slope? What's the best way to counteract guys like Tate from having an unhealthy influence on the next generation? I know many of you have strong, nuanced, and insightful opinions to share about the issues raised in this video, so please speak your piece below. I'm eager to get a thoughtful discussion going around these relevant topics. And as always, if you gain some value from this analysis, be sure to like and subscribe for more content breaking down complex personalities, cultural trends, and social issues. Appreciate you sticking with me until the very end.